Hello, Internet, and welcome to Spooky Talk. This is a new segment separate from our podcast where I interview a special guest that either didn't make it in time for the recording of the podcast, or I had to cut it out due to time restraints. So I hope you all enjoy what's here to come. I would like to welcome my first guest, a expert monster hunter and TV personality of the infamous Mountain Monsters, a Mr. John Trapper Tice. Hello and welcome, Mr. Tice. How was your trip from West Virginia to our little neck of the woods here in Ohio?
Americans. All of us are Americans, and I love every damn one of them. Of Ohio.
Great. It sounds like you got a good time coming here. So how about if we just jump right into the questions? Now, I'd like to say congratulations on Season 3 of your show that premiered earlier this January. How was it filming in the woods with all these crews and all those crazy guys you hang out with chasing monsters?
Better this year. The cast and the crew was, we had the same cameramen, same sound people as we had last season. And both of us understood each other a lot better this season. And I believe we was able to bring that to you a lot better, seeing that we worked together. We weren't shy around the cameras this season, and they knew where to get out of our way and stay out of our way this season.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, you don't want to get a sound guy or the boom mic or something in front of you guys when you're like opening fire with all those shotguns you're carrying around. Kind of like the one you got on the side of you there. I mean that is pretty cool. You came in costume. I mean, if I would have known, I would have put my jumpsuit on, and we could just run to the backyard in the woods and look for some good old Ohio monsters, And that brings me to our next part. I understand that you were in Ohio recently chasing some monsters around. You want to tell me about that?
We went out to the Hogzilla, and I believe in the Hocking Valley of Ohio, Little Hocking, and he's this, by the witnesses, he was this creature that could walk on his hind legs, was shaped like a hog, and was tearing up the fields and terrorizing the community. It's a great episode, and
Oh yes, I saw the episode, and I have to say, the Hogzilla you caught definitely did not match the description that all the people there were giving you. He certainly wasn't on two legs, but was quite impressive for being a large hog. Now, what kind of things went into getting him ready to trap him?
We had to build an extra strong trap for the Hogzilla, get the right bait, and that's a big thing on these traps, to get the right bait for these creatures.
Well, hopefully he wasn't too hard to bait. I mean, I may be a city boy and all, but I did live on a farm for a little bit of my life and helped raise a couple of potbelly pigs, and those guys are always eating just ears of corn and whatever you could really give them. So imagine it wasn't that hard to really bait the monster. But besides baiting and trapping, the one thing I found interesting that during the episode when you caught the Hogzilla, I noticed that its ears were actually clipped. Could you explain why that would be?
And that's a big thing. It was shaped like a hog, and
Well, I understand where you're coming from. That Hogzilla looks like a hog, but while it was inside of the cage, I could clearly see that its ears were clipped. And what most people don't realize is that farmers will clip the ears of their pigs so that way they can identify them if they ever got loose. Because, I mean, I may be a city boy, but like I said, I did raise a couple of pigs, so I know a little bit about this. And regardless of what's out there, swine, boar, feral pig, their ears are not naturally clipped. That has to be done by a human. I mean, don't you think that's kind of important to know? It's listed right on the Food and Agricultural Organization website, FAO.org, about how to raise your animals, especially swine, and how to clip their ears. And another thing, I've noticed that comparing that beast to actual wild boars, like the Russian wild boar and the domestic pig, along with the other wild boars that you said that it was crossbred with, the only thing that thing matched was a domestic pig. It looked nothing like any of these other animals. So, to me, what you caught was just a domesticated pig, possibly bred with another type of pig that became feral after being out of its enclosure for so long. How do you explain something like that, or how do you make such a fucking goof up like that?
Hard work, hard work served me well. I've always tried to do my best in any job I ever undertook.
I totally understand the idea of hard work, bud, but seeing how all the facts are kind of stacking up against you right here, wouldn't you think it would have been a little bit better to say, I don't know,
I can make friends with you in 5 minutes. I'll talk to anyone.
I mean, come on. Play devil's advocate here with me, John. Couldn't you have just said something like, this looks like the Hogzilla, but he doesn't really match anything else close to the Hogzilla. He isn't as big, but he sure is mean and powerful. We can at least remove this threat from the neighborhood and the area. But there's probably another one out there, instead of just shouting off, "Woo, boys! We got him! Let's get on home! Let's make some bacon out of him!" Ah! I mean, come on, John. You're burning your own integrity here. But then again, you are a reality TV show, just like all the others. And I understand sometimes faking stuff helps pay the bills when you're looking for the real thing. But this shit you keep pulling, I still don't understand how you're still on the air. If I was a TV exec, I'd fucking pull them. Whoa! Shit! Just shoot at me?
If you know what a hoot is.
Okay, hey, okay. Calm down. Listen. I take back about everything I just said.
Okay, enjoy Mountain Monsters every Friday night, 10.
Put the gun... Jesus! Okay. This interview's over. Interview's over.